Thunderbolts again yesterday and I liked it even better the second time, and I just wanted to talk about it again in another video with some spoilers, so that's your official spoiler alert, by the way. I was just once again blown away by this film for tackling really deep personal subject matter like depression, loneliness, self-worth, and just mental health in general. All the members of the Thunderbolts are directionless in life. They feel like they have no purpose. So them coming together to try and put a stop to Valentina's plans and schemes gives them a path, gives them something to live for, and it just gives them a higher calling. And I really love that scene when all the debris is falling down and they start saving all the civilians, and then they lift over that massive concrete slab and everyone starts clapping and cheering and they're all looking like really proud of themselves and happy. I actually got a bit, that was one of the moments I was talking about in my spoiler-free video where I got a bit choked up because it was just really badass to see that, to see them feeling actually proud of something they did, for actually being heroes. But the mental health themes are really nailed home with the character Bob slash Sentry slash The Void. I didn't talk about him much in the spoiler-free video because spoilers, but yeah man, Bob, what a character. I felt really bad for him. When you learn his backstory, really traumatic childhood, abusive dad, then he became a drug addict. He was on meth doing the chicken twirly sign job, goes to Malaysia to find more drugs and finds this program that Valentina's running for human improvement, and now he is super powerful when he becomes the Sentry. That scene where he suits up as the Sentry under Valentina's command and just wipes the floor with the Thunderbolts. My god, I mean, the most powerful Marvel character easily, hands down. That just seeing his power levels in that scene, just going against regular old human beings, was kind of awesome, like as in awe-inspiring kind of awesome. And like I said in my other video, it was reminiscent of The Boys with Homelander, where he was created in a lab and experimented on to create the ultimate superhero by an organization, and now he's got delusions of grandeur and he's untouchable and very dangerous because Sentry, when he wipes the floor with the Thunderbolts, he's like, why should I have to answer your orders, Valentina? Why should a god have to take orders from anybody? And Valentina can tell, yeah, we messed up here. But unlike the organization in The Boys, they actually made a kill switch for Sentry, so they're at least somewhat intelligent. So they activate the kill switch, but then the Void takes over, consumes New York in darkness, and this is where those mental health, depression themes really take center stage, because you go into the Shadow Realm, which that was the part in my other video. I was talking about how it reminded me of Stranger Things, just purely the characters go into another kind of dark dimension. So it's not like super like Stranger Things, but kind of like Stranger Things, sort of, I guess. That was the best comparison I had. But they go into the Shadow Realm to rescue Bob, and Yelena is confronted with visions of her past. And I really like the visual metaphors in there where she's trying to interfere in the events, but then the projections kind of like push her aside and it resets the moment. It's a really good way of them saying you can't change the past. You can just kind of accept it and move on. But the Thunderbolts go in there, they find Yelena, they find Bob, and they confront the Void. And that's where I was just like, wow, this is probably the deepest film that Marvel has ever made, because Bob's confronting the Void, i.e. his own darkness, his own insecurities, his own self-doubt, and the inner voice, the Void, is telling him how he's always going to be worthless, he's always going to be nothing. And oh man, when Bob just starts going to town on the Void and the darkness is consuming him, I was just like, oh my god, this film is striking so many chords with me, because I have been in that position. Like this time 2 years ago, I was there, man. I was just consumed by so much depression and I've mentioned it before. I don't want to open it up again, but for the sake of this and how the film just hit me like a kind of a brick, yeah. And when Bob's beating the shit out of the Void, the darkness is consuming him, and then the Thunderbolts break free, grab him, and do kind of a group hug, and the darkness goes away. That was another moment where I got kind of choked up, because everyone in life deserves their own team of Thunderbolts, just to remind them that they're not alone in the world. As someone who has gone through really bad stages of depression and poor mental health, and every once in a while still does here and there, I am just like really stunned and surprised and also thankful to Marvel for tackling that subject matter in a big Marvel superhero film. And it's not a crowd-pleasing Marvel film, but it's a relevant Marvel film. It's an important film in that subject matter for people who are going through the same thing, to convey that with superhero characters. This film can do things for people, I think. And I'm surprised to be saying this about Thunderbolts. And again, like I said in the other video, I saw the trailers and I just expected a fun Marvel film, great action, fun characters, great banter between them. So to be sitting here reflecting on its themes of depression and mental health and how I'm just being hit by it, this is one of the biggest surprises that Marvel's done in a long time. I know everyone's throwing around best Marvel film since Endgame as if they've not done some great films since Endgame. I don't think it's the best film since Endgame. I still love, No Way Home, Deadpool, Wolverine, Shang-Chi, but it's up there. It really is up there. I forgot to talk about Valentina in the other video. I really enjoyed the character in this film. I thought Julie Louis-Dreyfus was great. She was very dastardly. She's trying to get rid of all the evidence because she's under investigation. And by get rid of the evidence, that means killing these characters, Yelena and all the Thunderbolts team. And she's doing it with a big smile on her face because she knows with all the evidence gone, she's going to be untouchable. And with the Sentry being the Earth's mightiest hero, so she thinks, she's going to be unimpeachable, big smile on the face. And I was just like, oh, it's one of those characters you love to hate. And another observation I had about the film as a whole is that this is the first film, really, in the multiverse saga that feels like a culmination of sorts, because it brings together characters and story arcs that have been established within the multiverse saga itself. Yelena, Red Guardian were established in Black Widow, and you had US Agent in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and you had Valentina introduced in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it's plot threads and character arcs that were established in this saga coming to some kind of conclusion or some kind of destination within this film. So it was nice to see some kind of culminative kind of event within the multiverse saga, because everyone's talked about how they've had threads and post-credit scenes that have just been kind of lingering and they haven't touched on them or resolved a lot of stuff. So it was nice to see that happen within this saga in this film with Thunderbolts, because at the end, this team are rebranded by Valentina as the New Avengers, explaining the asterisk in the title. A lot of people have been speculating for months that the asterisk was going to be a tease for a new name by the end, like the New Avengers, or some people thought the Dark Avengers. So when they did that at the end, I was like, wow, I guess the internet was right. They are the New Avengers. And I was kind of surprised by that a little bit, because I didn't think this team of characters were worthy of being an Avengers team. But the way they kind of tease in the post-credit scene that Sam Wilson is very upset about them being the New Avengers, and there's some possibility of him putting his own Avengers team together, it kind of makes sense that the New Avengers are like the corporate Avengers, similar to the boys, again, with the Seven, how they're, put together by an organization. It's all about the branding and the marketing. The New Avengers are on the Wheaties box and whatnot. So this team being the New Avengers kind of works basically as a marketing ploy, and for Valentina to keep herself out of federal prison because she spun the story and she says, look, everyone, I saved the day with the New Avengers team. Don't put me in prison, please, because I'm a good person. Going back to the post-credit scene, by the way, the New Avengers are in their headquarters talking about the conflict with Sam and the whole Avengers trademark thing. They get that signal of an interdimensional craft entering orbit, and then you hear it. You hear the dun 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 dun, and I just got immediate chills. They look at the screen, they see the spaceship, tilts over, big number 4, and then the trumpet, the theme crescendos, which they spoil in the credits when the music in the credits is being listed and it says Fantastic Four First Steps main theme by Michael Giacchino. I saw that and I was like, oh, so I guess there is going to be a Fantastic Four tease in the post-credits. I thought that was kind of funny. Quick side note, that post-credit scene did not spoil the Fantastic Four film at all, because we already knew that the Fantastic Four are going to be in Avengers Doomsday. So the fact that they're going to jump universes was not a spoiler whatsoever. Plus, it doesn't tell us what happens in First Steps. We don't know if Galactus destroys their world and they escape, or maybe the Fantastic Four defeat Galactus, and then in the post-credit scene, they just crack interdimensional travel and decide to go to a new universe and arrive in Earth 616. So the post-credit scene did not spoil shit. It purely teased us and tried to get us excited and hyped for First Steps and Doomsday, and it worked for me. So Thunderbolts, spoilers and all, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Peace.